remember me? You know,
Right.
I used to walk all over your poop or something like that. We used to, both suckle our mother's teat. I'm like, cut that out, Grant.
No, please don't cut that out.
Oh gosh. Welcome, dog moms and dads, to our show where we discuss the everyday joys and challenges of pet parenting. I'm your host, Jen.
And I'm Ashley.
And this is a Dog Mom podcast presented by ZippyPaws.
Yay.
It's one of those days.
You got the COVID blues?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't have COVID, but it's just I'm in my bunker. Like we're not venturing out into the outside world.
Bunker Jen?
We're in here for the long haul. 2020, let's get it. 2021, hopefully not, but I'm ready.
Oh gosh. So what are we talking about today?
So today we have a list of questions that we prepared. These are some questions I wish my dog could answer me if they could talk. Actually, I don't want them to talk. I don't want them to talk back to me. But if they could talk, I want to ask them these questions.
Oh, Bjorn talks back. He doesn't need to speak my language. He definitely talks back.
Birdie talks back too. I still need to get her mooing on camera to show you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. Bjorn doesn't moo. He'll do it usually starts with a yawn. He'll do this really big yawn, and then it'll turn into kind of a howl, and then it'll do this low growling bark thing. I'm just like, who are you?
He does talk back
a lot. That's right. You've seen him since quarantine because we did a 3-person photo shoot in the office. He was
yelling
yappy,
at me.
Yappy. He's such a pain. I love him, but he's such a pain.
Same. The other day I was just saying that Birdie's free to any home. Doesn't have to be a good home. She's anybody. Anybody can just take her.
There's the first question. Do you understand that I'm trying to give you away?
I don't think they do.
How do you feel about that?
So my first question is, I think, a question that a lot of people think about. It's when your dog is sleeping and then their little feet are moving and they do this little dance, or their eyelids are fluttering. I just want to know, what do you dream about? Right? I always say that, Kramer is sleeping right now. He's dreaming about chasing squirrels. Is he actually dreaming about chasing squirrels, or is it just REM sleep, where your extremities are moving, but you're not actually dreaming?
Yeah, and is there a differentiator between, do they have nightmares versus happy dreams? Are they because I always think when Bjorn's legs are twitching crazy, and it's probably the pessimist in me, but I don't go straight to, I wonder what he's dreaming about. I'm just oh my gosh, is he having a nightmare? I'm trying to wake him up and calm him down. But where's that line,
Yeah. When Birdie sleeps, sometimes her tail she wags her tail and it hits the floor. So it's like a quiet house, and all of a sudden you hear all this knocking, and it's her tail hitting the floor. So is she dreaming of something happy, right? Or is it just involuntary, their body is just going through, their muscles are going through these energy little sparks, right? And also, do they remember their dreams?
Oh, that's true. That's a good one.
Yeah, because I think sometimes when they're sleeping, after a while, they get up and they come to me and they're all happy and stuff. So I'm wondering, are they trying to tell me what they dreamt of, or because
that's true.
for me, if I had a really cool dream, or a fun dream, or a dream where my husband did something bad and I'm mad at him, I'll go tell him right away. I'll go be hey, guess what you did in my dream? And I'll tell him Usually it's like bad things. I don't know why I always dream about bad things that he does. Like he pissed me off.
Poor Nick.
And he's like, I don't have to apologize for things I didn't do. But I'm like, yes, you did. In the dream you did. I know it's not real life, Nick. But in the dream you did do this to me. I'm not asking you to apologize, but I'm just letting you know. And he just
That's
rolls
funny.
his eyes.
Nico's like the exact opposite. I can think off the top of my head of one time where I had a dream that he was doing some bad stuff, and I woke up in a bad mood, and I thought I would be nice to him and let him know, like, hey, listen, I had a really bad dream. You were the cause of all of my problems, and just feeling funky this morning. And he literally rolls over and goes, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, wait, why are you apologizing? You didn't actually do anything.
That's the complete opposite. That's so funny. Oh gosh. So I mean, getting back to the dogs, just wondering, like, do they remember what they dreamed about? Yeah, I think it's just interesting. Or maybe they're just like twitching, and we think it's they're having super cool dreams.
Now I'm gonna think about that when Bjorn wakes up. He
Right?
started waking up. He started waking up happy. So before, I only used to get smiles when I came home from being away, and I think he just has like smile buildup because I don't ever leave and come back. And so now when he wakes up, if he's sleeping in the bed and we're in the living room, he'll walk out and he's just, his tail's wagging. He's got his big old smile on his
Yeah,
face.
exactly.
And it never dawned on me that he might have been having dreams. I was thinking he was just happy to see me, but I think it's probably a lot more believable that he was dreaming about something pleasant.
I mean, I don't know. We don't know. These are just the things that are going to be mysteries.
One of the things that I'm always curious about, and it's a little bit morbid, I guess. Not morbid, but just I always want to know if dogs understand what it means to go to a shelter, and also what it means to be adopted by somebody. Like, how does that make them feel?
Right.
Because we as people, we always want to put human emotions onto animals, and I think for the most part, yes, they do feel and they do think the same. But what goes through a dog's mind when he's being taken to a shelter, or when he gets out? They get out of the house and they get picked up by animal control and their families never come. How do they process that? What do they think? Where do their brains go? And then when they are adopted by another family, are they like, who the hell are these people? I mean, they're feeding me. I guess I'm going to stay. Or do they understand, like, oh, these people want to help me?
I was just gonna say that this got sad real fast.
I mean, I'm not trying to necessarily make it negative, especially reading all of the nice stories currently about dogs getting adopted out of these shelters. And I mean, there are dogs that have been in shelters for 4 or 5 years that you see a lot of these stories, and they're now getting adopted because people are at home more. And at that point, does the dog feel like he's leaving his home?
Yeah.
Because they've been in a shelter for so long. Just everything around the idea of shelters, because children that are in foster care, children that are being adopted, go through a lot of things, and a lot of times they come with psychological things, because it is a lot for somebody to process. So are we assuming that dogs have to go through that too?
Yeah, because I can imagine if you are a child and you're going through all these motions of foster families and being adopted, sometimes you don't really understand until you get a little bit older, right? Like you understand how you feel, but you don't know what it means to you. And as you get older and you have maturity and a little bit more experience, then you can look back and realize how that made you feel and how that impacted you in your life. But I don't know if dogs feel that at all. Right? I think they're more in the moment, where they might feel sad in the moment, or they might feel content. But I think they would be happy to get adopted, because then you're with a human being for much longer period in your day. So I would assume that they'd be happy.
I hope so. Okay, I'm not going to ask any more of my questions because I feel like they're all going to be depressing. So it's your turn again.
Well, it's good to think about, right? It's good to think about, and I think you brought up a good point where we try to kind of put a lot of our feelings and empathy onto a dog. We try to project that into dogs, but we don't even know if dogs feel the same kind of emotions, right? I mean, of course, they feel emotions, but they're probably not as deep as, like, the emotions that we go through.
Yeah, and I mean that's not a bad thing. Every animal conveys emotions differently, and they are all obviously sentient beings. They're all very, very smart, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the way that we think is exactly the way that the animals think, right? Like,
Yeah.
no human is going to go and lift their infant by the scruff of its neck and just throw it on the ground. But to a dog, that's completely fine. And I think, yeah, like you were saying, that's something that people forget a lot.
Yeah. Let's see. My next question. Actually, I have a few questions that are kind of like centered around the same topic, which is like, I want to know if dogs know who this person is or if they recognize something that's familiar. I know that they recognize people because I can see that they act differently towards people that they know. But what about like when you're on your way to a place that your dog likes, like to a park? And I know for a fact that my dogs tend to get excited when they're on their way to their favorite park. But I'm like wondering, like, how do they know that they're going to the park? Is it like visual cues when they're looking out the window? Or is it kind of like time of day? Because you usually go to the park on, at 2 o'clock or something like that. Or is it because it smells familiar? I don't know. What do you think?
I wonder that all the time because Bjorn, I don't know, because obviously he would come to work with me every day, and when we drive, he sleeps in the back seat. He prefers to sleep in the back seat on the floorboard. I have tried seatbelts. I have tried absolutely everything. He will find his way out of the seatbelt and onto the floor. That's just where he likes to be. And that's where he passes out. He's like snoring, happy as a clam, asleep. It never fails when I turn in to the driveway of my complex and I go over a certain bump, he will wake up and he is like trying to put his head out the window, even if the window's rolled up, if the window's rolled down. And I kept thinking, oh, maybe it's just because it's the same time, right? Kind of like you were saying. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't matter what time of day. It doesn't matter where we're coming from. When we go over that little bump, and I mean, there are a lot of bumps in the road, he knows that we're home.
Okay. That's a clue. All right.
Right. Dog detective.
Yeah.
Maybe that can be our new podcast.
Dog detective, where we have scientific experiments where we test our dogs and find out all the answers to these questions. Yeah, because I was thinking about this one last weekend when I took my dogs to my parents' house. And they live about 45 minutes away, and I just don't know if like they recognize the area because they love going to my parents' house. They have a huge yard and they love to play, run in the grass. So is it something that they're smelling or is it something that they're seeing out the window, right? Of course, I'm thinking like my parents' neighborhood probably smells a lot different than my neighborhood. And it probably smells a lot different than the park that they like to go to, right?
That's
maybe
true.
It's the trees. Maybe it's, if it's a dog park, the aroma of a million dogs pee or something like that, right? So yeah, that's just got me thinking, and I didn't think about the bump. That could be.
Yeah, like I don't know if it's just if it's a combination of that bump with this smell, usually around this time typically means that we're home. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. And for anybody listening, if you have scientific facts to back these up, or if you have any feedback on any of these questions, we're going to have listeners that are like, well, if you had just Googled, you would know that dogs dream.
Oh, gosh.
But I would be interested to see what some of our listeners have to say too, and if they have some of the same questions, if they've talked to somebody about it who may perhaps know. Because the more we get into conversation, I find myself sitting on my phone like Googling like, do dogs dream? And I'm like, okay, I can't get into this right now, but
I think we don't really know for a fact, right? Like maybe we can have run experiments where we do kind of like these sleep studies like they do on humans. And when you're sleeping, then they can see parts of your brain has activity so they know that you're dreaming. So I think technically you could run experiments, but I don't know how safe those types of experiments could be.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone will come back to
And
us
like, does someone
with relevant
have,
information.
yeah, a spare MRI machine that we can try?
Well, we can't be the only people asking these questions.
Right, right.
I don't think these are exclusive questions.
For sure.
Is
Okay,
it
it's
my
your
turn?
turn. Yeah, it's your turn.
Okay. This is the quintessential dog mom question, and I'm sure whoever's listening is going to have tons of eye rolls, but do you think of me as your mom? Is one of the first ones that comes to my mind always, right? I had to choose between do you think of me as your mom and do you like me better than your dad? Like I wasn't gonna use both of those, but I'm just curious because obviously, and I know you do this too, and this will kind of probably parlay into one of your questions, but I call myself his mom. We always joke like, oh, go to mama, and he'll run to me. But is that how he sees me? Am I seen as his mom? Am I seen as the leader of his pack? Like, where do I fall in line in his little brain, you know? Or big brain? No, little brain. We'll stick with little brain. He's not that smart.
Yeah, I have this same question too. It's like I call myself your mom, but what do you refer to me, right? And also maybe Bjorn talks to the cats too. And I think about this. It's like when Birdie and Kramer are home by themselves, and then, I go out and then I come back. Does Kramer say, "Hey, Birdie, stop doing what you're doing. Mom's home"? Or does Birdie run to the door and it's like, "Kramer, Kramer, mom's coming home soon"? Do they refer to me as someone? Like, do they talk about me? That's such a selfish thing to think about. Like, do they talk about me behind my back?
Like am I mom or am I that lady that feeds you and picks up your poop? And also
Yeah.
like there's another question. What do you think of when I'm picking up your poop? Do you think it's just the most bizarre thing in the world?
I think my dogs expect it, right? They're always kind of like looking back at me, like they wait for me to pick up their poop, but they're always facing the direction that they want to go next. And they always like turn back and look at me because sometimes I can't get the bag open. And then they're like, "Are you done? Like, it shouldn't be this hard." And I'm like, sometimes there's a new roll of poop and I still need to take the sticker off and it takes forever. So they always give me that look. You know that look.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Do dogs ever think about their actual moms, like their birth mom and their litter mates? What do you think?
Like the selfish part of me wants to think, I hope not. But I would imagine they would have to. Because dogs, so from a scientific perspective, not that I'm a scientist, but they're pack animals and they typically stay within the pack, but then you have the males that go off and veer off. But I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I would like to think that they fondly think of their previous family. And I've seen stories on the internet where dogs have run across another dog that looks like them and lo and behold they're from the same litter. So I think there's probably that connection.
Yeah, because we have actually met up with Birdie's brother, so her litter mate, and she played with him, but it didn't seem like she was like super excited, more excited than usual. Her brother was super excited. His name's Ollie, and yeah, I don't know if like when they met, they're like, "Oh my gosh, my brother, my sister," remember me,
Right.
I used to walk all over your poop or something like that. We used to, both suckle our mother's teat. I'm like, cut that out, Grant.
No, please don't cut that out.
Oh gosh. But like, do they know or do they not know? I'm just so curious.
I feel like they'd like I said, I feel like they have to know. There has to be some type of smell recognition where they're like, okay, you smell the same. You're part of my pack.
Right. Yeah. And I know that Kramer has met his mom before too, because when Nick used to live in Wisconsin, they've met. So I've never seen the interaction, but I know that they have. And I don't know. I just don't know if he thinks, "Oh, that's my mom," you know?
That's a tough one because I'm also pretty certain that Bjorn thinks that my two cats are dogs as well. They're small dogs with weird shaped ears. So it just kind of depends. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess you never really know, like, as human beings too. Like, if you don't know it, if you were separated from your mom at birth, and then you meet her without knowing, like, would you know? Like, I don't think you would.
They say that twins have that type of cosmic connection, though.
That is true. We don't have any answers.
Yeah.
We should have named this episode questions that no one has the answers to.
Yeah. Right. Questions only my dog can answer.
It's like, why are we asking these questions? We still don't know any of the answers.
It's fun to ponder, though.
That's true. Okay, it's your turn.
It's another sad one. I gotta stop doing these podcasts. I'm just gonna depress people. So mine is obviously more geared towards my last dog, Stella, but I would like to know what things hurt and what things maybe seem like they would hurt but don't. Obviously, Stella went through a lot of medical procedures and she went through chemo, but even in Bjorn's case, he will run through my house at top speed and just slam into something. Like hit the corner of a bench where if I ran into it, I would be on the floor crying like a baby. And he just doesn't even care. But if you open a door on a fraction of his tail, it sounds like he's being killed with a machete. So where does their pain? Like, is it because it's unexpected pain and he wasn't prepared for it? Like, does he see the corner of the wall that he's going to hit at top speed and just not care? Is he so focused on catching the ball or catching the laser? But what hurts, right? Like, and I think that's something that a lot of pet parents would want to know. What hurts? Are you feeling good? Like, do you need something from me? What do you need? What hurts? But more taking it one step further and figuring out, like, why does this hurt to you? But why does this not hurt to you? And are you faking it? Do you understand what faking an injury means? And side note, I'm fairly certain that they do.
I feel like Bjorn would be the dog to fake an injury just to get, like, time with you, you know?
He's such a baby. So it's been really, really, really hot in my area of Southern California. Some people call it the Inland Empire. I call it hell because it's about 100 degrees right now. But every once in a while when we're taking him out for a walk, if he won't go really close to our place, we have to walk him a little bit further. And there are some times when putting the dog booties on is just like, he's got to go. So what we've started doing is if we have to go across the asphalt, Nico just picks him up and carries him across the street. And you would expect some type of fight, right? He's over 60 pounds now. He's a big dog. I'll have to try to get a picture of it. He just is sitting there, tongue hanging out of his mouth, smiling, happy as a clam, like, okay, just carry me. So yes, he would 100% be the dog that would fake an injury. But again, like, he's also the dog that'll hit something at top speed and I'm panicking like, oh my God, this is going to be a really expensive vet trip. And he just gets up and keeps going. Like nothing ever bothered him.
I wonder if it's the same, like, as adrenaline, you know? Like, it's because he's running and then he just slams into things and he's like, I don't care, you know? Because his heart rate's beating so fast. And versus, you know, you opening a door on his tail where he was sleeping. So it was like more unexpected.
I don't know, because we've all been in the office when he's had his bouts of being a drama queen, and they're like, it's impressive.
That's true.
I'm surprised people haven't called animal control on me, because, and usually it's just like, what happened? And he's fine afterwards, but there's that initial yelp, and it's like, yeah, but where was that yelp when you, I don't know, when you crashed into something, when you tried to run through the closed door?
That is true. I don't know. I feel like both my dogs don't really show any signs of pain. Like they just don't show it. They don't yell, they don't yelp, they don't like whimper or anything. And with my previous dog too, JJ, like he's had like from the last episode we talked about, he was bit by a rattlesnake 3 times, and he's had several surgeries where one he was bit by another dog and he had to have his chest open up and stitched back together.
Oh my gosh.
And it was like a foot long thing, you know. It's not pretty. But he didn't even care. He just acted like he didn't care. Just went along. He got bit and walked home by himself. Like, you know, he just didn't care.
Poor thing. I feel like if Bjorn got seriously hurt, though, he probably wouldn't make as much noise as something inconsequential.
Yeah. So maybe, I don't know. But the vet has told me that the dog's skin and muscles are a little bit different from ours, where our skin is kind of like pretty much connected to our muscle. I mean, don't quote me on this, okay? But for my dog JJ, when his chest was kind of like ripped open by this other Chow Chow, our neighbor's dog, he's so mean. But it kind of like it's separated from his muscles and his chest organs and stuff.
Gosh.
So it was hollow, like there was no blood.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like you can rip your fur open and your skin, and there's still no blood, or minimal blood. You know, it wasn't actually gushing out as you would imagine it to be. So, I mean, that's another morbid thing.
I was listening to you, and then I looked out my window, and our neighbor's German Shepherd puppy that's like 4 months old is walking, and I literally missed out on like the last half of what you said.
So you don't even listen to me.
I'm so sorry.
What is this? Why are you in here?
I'll listen to the podcast. You're not a cute little German Shepherd puppy. She got a new pink leash, and I see her every day when I'm in here working, but she's got a new leash and she's learning to sit, and she's doing such a good job, and I'm so proud of her. I'll listen to the rest of your answer on the podcast. I promise. I'll actually listen to this one.
I'm like, what? Do we even need to keep going?
I'm sorry.
All right, your turn.
I only have one more. I mean, I have a lot more, but I only have one more that I'm actually prepared with, and that is, do you see the other dogs differently? Like, can you differentiate between a German Shepherd and a Maltese, or are they all just dogs? Like, oh, there's another dog. There's another dog. Like, how do they categorize? Is it like dogs and people and cats? Because again, I'm pretty certain Bjorn does not think that my cats are actually cats.
That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they can differentiate dogs from humans, because when you're out walking, they always greet the dogs first. If you're walking with a dog, then the other person's dog will always greet your dog first before greeting you, right?
I think so. Do you know what I learned? This is going to be a side tangent. I apologize. Okay. When you're walking your dog, you're not supposed to meet another dog head on.
What does that mean?
Apparently, there's a chance that it could promote aggression.
But like the dogs can't.
Yeah, like so on? If you're walking north, and it was a video that I was watching on aggressive dogs, so I don't think it would necessarily apply to any of ours, but really aggressive territorial dogs, if you're walking and another person is coming the opposite direction as you, you're supposed to move to the other side of the street or move out of their way, because I guess when dogs meet head on, that great heightens the chance for an episode.
Okay.
Again, there's no scientific fact behind that, I don't think, at least not that that I have prepared to quote. There's probably scientific fact behind it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
That's good
Sorry.
to know. I should ask my mother-in-law because she adopted uh a dog that was used to be feral, and he was
Oh,
very
wow.
aggressive, and they're rehabilitating him and he's doing a lot better. So maybe I should ask her for some advice on, like, if you have a really aggressive dog or a territorial dog or a dog who is not used to humans, like what kind of steps can you take? So maybe I'll ask
Ooh,
her.
I'd like to hear that. Sorry, I
Yeah.
apologize for my tangent. I'm done.
Okay, what were we talking about? Oh, like, do your other dogs see them differently? Okay. Yeah, like, do they see breeds? I think they see breeds because I feel, or they sense breeds because I feel like my dogs always love to play with other dogs that are the same breed as them. Like, they get more excited.
Really? Bjorn went through a phase where he loved golden retrievers at the dog park, but I'm pretty certain that's Birdie's fault. He's like, "Are you Birdie?" No, no,
I
I'm not.
just feel like they play better. Maybe that's just how they are because they're the same breed. So they kind of have like similar temperaments and they play similarly because a lot of some dogs like to play, they like to chase each other, and some dogs like to wrestle, and some dogs like to play fetch. So maybe they just like to play similarly. So that's why they get along so well. I don't know.
That's true. I feel like a lot of the time the smaller dogs are a little bit more aggressive,
Mm-hmm.
and Bjorn is just not an aggressive dog at all, so he tries to stay away from them, but maybe
Yeah.
that's why. That makes sense.
Definitely, my dogs don't like super aggressive dogs, and they don't like to be chased. So when other dogs are chasing them in the dog park, they just kind of try to go away. Like they just want them to stop. But they just want to like sniff each other's butts. That's all they want to do.
Like, why?
Yeah, and okay, so kind of on this topic, right? If you go on a walk with your dog and they're sniffing, oh, God forbid, a pee spot or a poop, do they know who that once belonged to?
They're like, "Oh, this guy again."
They're like, oh, it's Marv from down the street. He always does this. His
Like,
owner
what are
never picks up his poop.
right? Like, hope she got a diet change. I can tell.
Um, yeah. And my dog's probably like, oh, Karen, you gotta eat more broccoli. You need.
Who names their dog Karen?
Well, you know, those Karen dogs.
I'm sure. No, I want to believe that dogs cannot be Karens. Don't ruin this for me.
That's true. Well, okay, maybe Karen's dog, right? The owner is a Karen.
I want someone with an Afghan to cut their dog's hair and like an inverted bob. And actually make a Karen dog. Okay, I'm done. This is like,
Oh my gosh.
this is gonna be a weird one. I'm
this
sorry.
Episode, my goodness. Oh, okay. My side question was, if like your dog knows his dog, like, you know, my dog knows. Yeah, they have a bunch of friends in the neighborhood, right? Do they know like that's their friends pee versus, like, you know, if it's a stranger dog, then they're like, I don't know who that was.
That's a good question. I just love our deep thought about questions that we came up with to ask our dogs, and then it turned into us trying to answer on behalf of our dogs.
Yeah, because sometimes they take so long and they sniff it so intently. Like their nose is always just like a centimeter away. They never actually touch, but it's like it's always like, you know, wiggling around. So I'm like, you must be getting info from this because why else would they be spending so much time sniffing something?
Right? And does it smell bad to you? Like, why? Why do you
Right.
feel the need? Like, or Bjorn who eats cat poop. I just don't understand why. Why? Like, does that taste good to you?
Right.
We've gone for the people out there listening that are going to tell me that he's got some type of imbalance, taken him to the vet multiple times. He's not lacking in any minerals or any vitamins. He's not hungry because that dog eats more than I do. And our vet said he might just like the taste, to which I would respond with, why? Why?
Right. My old dog used to eat cat poop too, But it's like, why does it taste good? And why do some other dogs don't eat cat poop? Because my current two dogs don't eat. Well, I guess they haven't had a chance because we don't have cats.
What is that life like? Like, I spend so much money on Bjorn's raw diet, and he finishes it off with a thing of cat poop for dessert. Like, just luckily it's not all the time, but for anyone who's also had that problem, it may be an occasional thing, but that smell lingers and it gets stuck in their teeth, and it's just so nasty, and I hate it. Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
Yeah, why? Does it taste good? Ugh. It must taste good.
Ugh.
It must. Because can you imagine feeding your dog? Well, I mean, my dogs like lettuce, but something that
So
tastes
does
bland.
Bjorn.
Yeah,
Iceberg
because
lettuce.
sometimes, okay. So it's tasting because I would give Birdie, say, like a cherry tomato or something that has like a skin, and she doesn't want to eat it. But then if I cut it in half, she'll eat it.
Oh, weird.
So it's a taste.
I don't know how this relates to cat poop, though.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to figure out if, they eat something based on if it tastes good or not, or if because, they feel like they're compelled to eat everything in sight.
I mean, Bjorn also eats rocks or attempts to eat rocks. So
Okay.
I'm hoping it's not a taste thing, because, again, then his really expensive raw diet is going to stop, and he can just go scavenge for cat poop and rocks and bark. He loves bark now because I just redid our backyard.
Yeah, our dogs love the mulch and pine cones and things like that. Once again, we have no answers.
I'm kind of glad we don't have answers, honestly.
Can you imagine if they told us and we're like, oh, that wasn't what we wanted to hear at all? Right?
We'll never know. The world may never know.
I think those are all my questions. I mean, I probably will have like a lot more questions if I think about it more, but
I have so many more, but I'm just now remembering when I had to brush Bjorn's teeth and scrape cat poop off of them, and the main question that I have for all dogs out there is just simply why.
Right? Like, why are the way you are? We ask Birdie that all the time. She's such a little weirdo. She's gotten into this phase where she de-stuffs all her stuffed animals and she roots around. Like, she'll use her nose and do these circular motions. Like, she'll bite the toy where she opens it up a little bit, and then she'll use her nose to root around and then pick out the fluff, right?
Stella used to do that, and it looks like she's eating it, and then she spits it out and just leaves it there.
Yeah, and then she'll like use her little nose to like root around in there, and then sometimes she wears the stuffed animal on her nose. And I own a dog toy company, so I want people to think that my dog toys are durable, and then she goes around de-stuffing everything. Well, granted, she plays with them for like weeks and weeks, and then all of a sudden she wants to destroy one, then she'll just do it like right away.
Bjorn doesn't really destroy. He hasn't destroyed many of the ZippyPaws toys. Some of the less durable ones maybe, but he's not so precise. Like, Stella used to do the same thing that Birdie would do, where it's almost like she's doing surgery.
Yeah.
Bjorn will get a hole, like he'll chew a hole open, and then he'll put it in his mouth, and he will shake his head and the toy as much as he can, and it's like a fluff volcano has gone off in my living room. So he lacks the finesse that the girls seem to have.
Yeah, I think the girls are very calculated. Like, Birdie can easily destroy a toy, right? Any dog can destroy any toy if they put their mind to it. I mean, look at their teeth, right? But she's very calculated. Like, she won't destroy a toy she doesn't want to destroy. But if she decides that today's the day, it just takes her like a second or two to open it up and start getting all the fluff out. And then her slave, aka mom, has to pick it all up for her. Gosh.
All right. So if you want to boop that follow button, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Dog Mom Podcast and our website at www.zippypaws.com/Dog Mom Podcast. And we say this all the time, and we're going to continue to say it. If you have any questions, any comments on anything that we've talked about, feel free to reach out. We love, love, love hearing from you guys. So make sure you keep hitting us up. Slide into those DMs. But
Yeah,
you'll be talking to Jen. You don't really talk to me.
That's true.
I need to get on there more.
Yeah. Do you have the password?
No.
Oh. Maybe
I don't
that's why.
want that because with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah,
And
so
I am not a
if I give you
responsible
the
person.
password, then you're going to have to take over checking all the messages. So
That's a negative. You don't want me running Dog Mom Podcast.
Why?
Let's just put that out into the universe. Because you're the nice one.
what are you talking about? You respond to the one from in ZippyPaws, and you do a great job.
Well, I can only fake it so many times. Okay, I know we're trying to wrap this up, but I'm looking out my window again, and there are people wearing cardboard boxes walking around. I'm going to have to try to get a picture. I don't know what's going on, but...
I mean, I can say anything at this point, and you won't listen, so...
Stop. That's not true. I listen to everything you say. Sometimes it's just after we've recorded and edited and posted.
So you don't even listen to me while we're doing the show?
It's like Cliff Note listening. I listen to the important stuff that you're saying. I just inherently know when it's going to be important.
Also, if you like our show, try to leave us a review in Apple Podcasts. We appreciate that very much. It just helps bump up our ratings, and then we'll be in the top. What were we in the top 43 last week? So hopefully
that's
we
what
can
you
be in
said,
like
yeah.
top 20 soon. That'd be
Or
exciting.
number one. If you're not number one, you're last.
What? Where did this come from?
It's a movie quote. I don't even remember where it's from. It's probably Talladega Nights. Oh, no. I think if you're not first, you're last is Dodgeball.
Is it? I don't know my movie quotes.
Wait, no.
But
No, it's Ricky Bobby. It's 100% Talladega Nights. Sorry.
Oh
if you're
my
not first, you're
gosh.
last.
Okay, we'll fact check this. But last week we were right above this podcast about goats. So, and that's a really great podcast. So if you want to
I want to
have a
goat so
goat,
bad.
then you should listen to it. It was very informative. I listened to like 2 episodes of it for no reason at all.
I want a goat so bad. That's literally what I'm going to do when we stop recording.
All right, I'm going to stop, and Ashley's going to get a goat. Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.